Hello everyone, good evening. Good evening everyone, good evening and welcome to day 4 of our C++ masterclass. Good evening. I hope I am audible and I hope you can see my screen. Can you guys confirm it in chat box whether everything is fine? Can we start with the session? Yes? Good evening guys. Very good evening. Good evening and welcome to day 4. Very good evening everyone. I need just confirmation about the audio video quality. Is it fine? Can we start with the session? And please post down the topics which we have seen in previous session. Yeah, thank you for the confirmation. Can you post down, everyone, can you try to post down the topics? What all topics we have covered in our previous class so that we can have a continuation of that on day 4. Let us have a recap of what we have seen in day 3. Good evening everyone. Good evening, very good evening. Yeah guys, I hope now I am audible. I hope now everything is fine. Good evening and welcome to day 4 of our C++ masterclass. So let us start with the session on day 4. Okay. So yeah, so what all we have seen in previous session, we have seen about variables, we have seen data types, and then we have seen console input, right? So we have seen about console input from the user. We have seen getLine and how to avoid that glitches and all, how to overcome that. We have seen about that, right? So in this session we are going to continue with a new topic which is called as operators. So what is operators? Let us see now. So the first operator performs some operations. It could be something like a mathematical operation. Okay, so we are going to start with arithmetic operators. Okay, so arithmetic operators, as the name itself suggesting, it is mathematical operators. So let us start with arithmetic operators. These arithmetic operators are the type of operators in C++ that are used to perform mathematical operations. Okay, so they can be used in programs to define expressions and mathematical formulas. For example, you can do the basic mathematical operations with arithmetic operators such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, then modulus, then increment and decrement. What all these things we'll see one by one with example. Okay, so what is addition? Adding two numbers, you can use the plus operator. That is an arithmetic operator. Okay, then you have minus, which is for subtraction. Then you have asterisk symbol for multiplication, and you have division with forward slash. Then with the percent symbol you have modulus, and you have double plus to increment any variable, and you have double minus to decrement anything. Okay, so these are arithmetic operators, and these can be only done with numerical data types, like it could be integer, float, or double values can be done. You can't go and do it with character. If you are doing with character, then you can expect it differently. It will be stored as an integer, and the ASI value in that manner it will go. Okay, so it can be used only with numerical things, then only it will be fine. So starting with addition, so let me go into the console and let me go with integer x equal to 12, integer y equal to 22. Okay, so I am going to use standard console output x plus y. Okay, let us see that 34. Okay, minus, you can do subtraction, you will be getting the mathematical result. Okay, so you can also perform multiplication. Good evening guys, very good evening. Multiplication 264, and then you can also go for division. Okay, so like you can see when I try to divide this, we are getting actually 0. Okay, and can you know the reason behind it, why we are getting 0? Because these both are integers, integer data type, and when you try to divide 12 by 22, it will be in decimal points near to 0.00 something. so it can't divide, so it will just give you 0. That's the idea if you go with integers. Instead, if you go with float or double, okay, let us try to do that and see the result in the output. Okay, so you will be getting the respective float answer. So there is a way to convert this as well. We will be seeing that later on. Okay, for now this is basics. Division is fine, and then for example let me declare integer x equal to 21. Okay, and I am going to do something. For example, I can perform x, like I am going to display the value of x here. So if I run this, the value of x will be 21. Okay, because we have declared it as 21. You can also do this. For example, you can add x plus plus. Okay, so what is this double plus symbol is going to do is it is going to increment the value of x by 1. Okay, by 1 it is going to do that. So if I run this, what will be the value of x now? If I run this, in the output what will be displayed? Can you guess? Please post down answers in chat box. Yes, what will be the answer? $22, right? 22 will be the answer because this is 21. Now you are adding 1, you are incrementing it by 1, so the value will be 22 now. 22 is the right answer. Okay, and you also have minus minus, then you have to guess. You are going to subtract x with 1, so you will be getting 20 in this scenario. Okay, 20 will be displayed in the output. These are operators, and I hope I have missed another operator, which is going to be integer y equal to 4. Let me do this. Okay, and we have an operator which is modulus symbol. What is the value of x modulus y? Okay, what this modulus operator will do is it will try to divide. For example, x is 20. If you divide that by 4, okay, what is the remainder you get? It is evenly divisible, so the output you will be getting is 0. Okay, so in the output I will be getting 0, and the reason why am I getting 0 is, let us try to understand. I will use a whiteboard here. So let me go into a new whiteboard. I'll just skip this off and let us pick a color. Yeah, so I will write, for example, if you try to divide a number like 20, if you try to divide it by 4, okay, so 5 4 will be 20. So this, whatever you are getting here is your remainder, because these terms will be using later. This is called as quotient, right? And what this value, this is returned actually with the help of modulus symbol. So if you try to divide, for example, 20 with 3, what will be the answer if you try to do it? 6 3s are 18, right? So the remainder here will be 2. So that will be returned as the output. Let us try to do that. You can't divide after this, no decimal points will be considered. Okay, so now if I try to do the same, for example, if I do it with 3, I should get 2 in the result. So that is what the modulus operator is going to do. Okay, we are getting 2, right? Understood how it works? Please post the answer. If you try to divide 20 by 7, what will be the answer if you use modulus symbol? Post the answers in chat box for this scenario. 27, you use modulus operator. Okay, post it down in chat box. Waiting for your response. I'm not going to do it. You guys post it down in chat box. So we are going to move into the next one. I hope you guys understood about increment and decrement. Can we move into the next one? 6, right? 6, very good. 6 is the answer. 7 2s are 14. Remainder will be 6. That will be displayed in the output. That is your modulus operator. And it is actually used in lot of places where critical things, very small details, it will be providing lot of functionality. We'll be seeing that hopefully by day 7 or 8 we'll be having some contents where I'll refer to this once again. Okay, so moving into the next one, can we start with this augmented assignment operator? Post down few more responses in chat box, guys. Very good to see lot of answers in chat box. Very good. 6 is the correct answer. Yes. So augmented assignment operator. Okay. So what does that means? For example, an augmented assignment is generally used to replace a statement where an operator takes a variable as one of its argument and then assigns the result back to the same variable. Sounds confusing, right? I don't know if you like read this definition and all, you won't understand this. Practically, it's very simple. For example, this is what happens. Let me try to write this scenario. Let me go into the console here and let us remove this off. I have value integer of x equal to 4. Okay, so I can write this standard console output, the value of x. So if I display it, it is going to be 4 in the result, right? Fine. Now we are going to do a thing. Let me first run this 4. Fine. So now if I am doing any operations like x equal to x plus 5, okay, x equal to x plus 5. So I am modifying x with any value and then I am storing it once again in x, right? Okay, so this is what they are trying to tell you in the definition. Okay, so if I run this, it will be actually the value will be 9 because x value is now incremented with 5. It is get added and stored in x itself. Okay, so now the value of x will be 9. In scenarios like this where, okay, an operator takes a variable x as one of its argument, which means it is taking x as one part and then assigns or do some task and assign it once again in x itself in that same variable. Instead of writing like this, you can make it beautifully with the help of augmented assignment operators. With the help of, instead of writing x equal to x plus 5, you can write x plus equal to 5. Okay, what it does, it is going to add x with the equal to other side, right hand side, and then store it in x itself. For example, I can just remove this off and I can write x plus equal to 5. What does that mean? X gets added with 5 and then stored in x itself. So if I run this, the value once again will be 9. So if that is the case, can you guys write what's the answer for this? X multiplied by equal to 2. Post down what will be the value of x in chat box. What will be the value of x? What does this operator do? It is going to perform multiplied by equal to 2, which means x gets multiplied by 2 and then stored in x itself. Very good guys, 8 is the answer. So like that you can use it for divided by equal to, which means now the answer will be 2. Okay, so you can perform minus equal to 2. And not only that, if you have variable y, for example integer y equal to well, let us keep it as 7. Okay, so x minus equal to y means the value of x subtracted by 7 and then added or stored in x itself. So the value will be minus 3. In such scenarios you can also use modulus equal to, it is allowed. Okay, so these are the augmented assignment operators. Now we are going to move into next one, which is very huge, which is actually going to give you a lot of functionality later on. Okay, when you discuss about conditional statements, control statement, flow and all, this comparison operator will be playing a huge role. Okay, for example, comparison operators, as the name itself suggesting, they are actually used for comparison. Okay, for example, comparison operator used for compare two values or variables or more than that. Okay, so this is important in programming because it is helps us to find answers and make some decision. Okay, so the decision making we will be doing later. Now we will see comparison operator, and if you use comparison operator, then it is going to give you an output which is in the format of boolean. Can I know what all the possible values of a boolean? We have seen it in previous session, right? What are the possible values of boolean? Post it down guys. What are possible values? That are all the output which you can expect from a comparison operator. Whatever you use, you will be getting either 0 or 1. Okay, 0 is for false and 1 is for true. Okay, so that is the idea behind comparison operator. and you have different operator. For example, let us see that on my right hand side I have some symbols here. Let us see one by one. So the first one is to check whether, okay, you will be writing left hand side and right hand side scenarios. If you want to check two variables or numbers whether they both are equal, then you can use double equal to sign. So this combination is going to check whether left hand side is equal to right hand side. If both are equal, then you will be having 1 or true in the output. If both are not equal, you will be getting false in the output. Okay. Similarly, you have, if you want to check whether two things are not equal, in such case you can go with exclamatory mark and then equal to. Okay. This is for checking whether left hand side is not equal to right. If both are not equal, you will get true. If both are equal, you will get false. You can also check whether left side is greater than right side or less than right side with these symbols. And in such places where you want to check greater than or equal to, if they are greater or the same number or less or same number, you can use these combinations. So let us try to use comparison operators hands on. So let me go into this console. Okay, so we have x and y, right? So let me write some commands here. I'm going to verify x not equal to y, right? X not equal to y. Let us try it. Okay, hopefully we can do some things like boolean status equal to x not equal to y. We'll pass the status here and let us run this. So the answer is 1. It is true because they both are not equal. Okay, more than two values, yes, in such place you have to go with other operator which we will be seeing. Okay, so now for example, if both are same like this, x and y are same, and you are checking whether they are not equal, you will be getting a result which is going to be, I'll save this and run this, 0. The result we are getting here is 0 because they both are equal, but you are checking not equal. So if you go with double equal to, then it is going to give you a result true because now they are same. Okay, x and y, they both have same value. So if you change one value, then obviously they are not equal, you will be getting false in that scenario. Okay, so in between you can convert this masterclass into 1 month certified internship on C++. You will be getting 30 days of live sessions, 90 days of access to all the records, source codes and projects. You can download it. You will be getting 4 hackathon with coding interview sessions, and the first one is going to happen by this weekend on Saturday. We will be discussing 5 additional DSA topics, 5 new sessions for the internship users benefit, downloadable PPTs, code files, internship confirmation letter, and then when you complete this internship, you will be getting internship certification. You can avail this at a discounted fee at $899, and the link for registration is posted in chat box. You can utilize that and you can get all the benefits of these. Okay, so all these benefits you can avail, and the additional DSA topics are this, like data structures, introduction, big O notation, linked lists, stacks, queues, sorting algorithms, searching algorithms, trees and graphs. And we'll also integrate it with the hackathon sessions where you can clarify your doubt. At the same time, we'll discuss interview coding questions and challenges. And the batch 1 internship ends tomorrow on 1st of March. We have our first coding interview question and hackathon session on Saturday, which is day after tomorrow. So the first batch ends tomorrow. So if you are planning to buy this, you can get it as soon as possible before this, and you can get benefited with all these contents as early as possible. So the registration link is posted in chat box. It is available at $899. Okay, so you will be getting all these benefits. Now we have together, there is no weekend off and all the sessions. We will take it continuously daily. Okay, for the remaining, today is day 4, right? We still have a lot of days to go till day 21 on YouTube. And for internship users, it is 30 days or 1 month certified internship. So continuing into the next operators, for example, if you want to check whether one is greater than into other or not, for example, if you want, you can check x less than y. Okay, so you have to search it here, for example. So I'm going to check x less than y. The reason it is true, okay, and for example, in this scenario now x is greater, but if you check it is less than y, you will be getting 0 in the result because it is false, okay. And apart from that, you also have this scenario where, for example, let me have both as 40 and I am going to check whether x is less than y. What will be the answer? Okay, so if I run this, what will be the answer? It is 0, it is telling that it is false. Okay, clear? Why? Because we are checking whether it is less than, it is not less than, it is not greater than, it is equal to. Actually, in such scenarios, you can use less than or equal to symbol, combination of both, okay. Less than, equal to, greater than or equal to, and if you look at into the status, it is actually 1 now because it is a true situation. It is going to compare both and give you the result, okay. So the output in the console here, even it's a boolean, you will be getting it as 0 or 1. That's how we will get in the console, okay, in the output console. Mr. Supreet Kumar, it will be given as 0 or 1, not true or false. Okay, so let me write a scenario here and you guys want to guess this, okay. What will be the answer? Now what is the answer? Please post down in chat box. If I run this, what will be the answer? If it is clear, okay, you can proceed further, we can proceed further. Clear? So this can be produced, for example, this will produce false because it is a false scenario, so we will be getting 0. If you make it greater than or equal to, we will be having 1 in that scenario. Okay, so that is about comparison operator. I hope it's clear. And yeah, so moving into logical operators. Can we start with logical operators? Can we start with logical operators? Can we start, guys? So when we talk about logical operators, remember your logic table which you have studied anywhere, or if you haven't, we will be seeing that, don't worry. So the logical operators evaluate the logical expression and return a result, okay. This is for actually finding multiple things. So the result is always going to be a boolean here, and a boolean value determines whether the expression is true or false, okay. So let us see some operators. Refresh your basic knowledge. Just ignore this particular image for now. You have this table. First, if you understand this table, you can understand the remaining things. It is very basic. Let us see that. Okay. So this logical operators are used to compare 2 or more results. Okay. If you have a x scenario, if you have a y scenario, which is going to be already a boolean, it can take a boolean, compare a boolean, and give you result as a boolean. So for example, let us consider we have x and y, and we have our first operator which is called as OR operator, okay. It is like either x or y in that manner, which means if your x is true, okay, your x is true, and then your y is also true, your output of OR operator will be true. And the reason is because if both are true, then the output will be true, okay. And then if you go with this case where your x is actually true and y become false, okay, here one is true, another one is false, but in this scenario, okay, so the output will be true. And the reason is it is OR operator. Even if one is true, the output will be true. It is applied for here also. See, here x is false but y is true. In such case, when you compare, it is true in the output. And finally you have a situation where false and false is there, which means both are false. There is no true, In such scenario, the output will be false only. That is OR operator. Okay, you can take it for three things. For example, you can also add z also, x, y, z. Even if any one is true there, your output will be true. Okay, that is OR operator. And you have AND operator here. The next guy is AND operator. He is like a strict officer. Okay, so for this guy, if both are true, he will allow that as true. Even if one case fails, even if one is false, the output will be false, false, false. Even both are false, it is false. It is applied for triple or x, y, z also. If either one is becoming false, it is going to give you false as a result. If all are true, you will be having AND operator. And then you have NOT operator. Okay, NOT operator. NOT operator is actually univariate. It is not comparing both. It is going to take any one. If the input is true, it is just going to give the reverse or opposite. Not x means if x is true, it is going to give false. True means false. False means it is going to give true. That is your NOT operator. Okay, and the symbols or operators which you want to use or to achieve this, you can go with double ampersand for logical AND operator. Okay, you can use this symbol for logical OR operator, and then you can use a single exclamatory mark for logical NOT operator. Okay, clear? Clear, guys? Now let me ask you a basic question. Okay, you are trying to build a web application, like you are trying to build a Facebook app. Okay, you are going to just create a page for login. Okay, so the login, x is your username and y is your password. Okay, so you want to check whether x and y both are correct or true, and then you want to allow the user to enter that. Okay, so what operator will you use in that place? What operator will you use if you want to compare both and both want to be correct? Username and password, what operator you will be checking? More than 2 you can, please wait, I will be showing you hands on. More than 2 you can do, x, y and z can be done. Mr. Arvind, you can do that. I'll be doing that in quite few minutes. Please wait. AND operator, right? Why? You want both the username and password to be correct. You don't want the user to write password alone correct and username wrong, or username correct and password wrong, or both wrong. You don't want to allow. Okay. Yes, they also do same as 1 and 0, but how to use it? Let us do it practically. Let me use a scenario. See here. Okay, so for example, I'm going to do a scenario like this, where, yeah, let us compare two details here. For example, standard, I'll just remove these things off. Okay, so instead of boolean and all, you can write it directly standard console output, and I'll create a parenthesis and do it. You won't be getting error for the comparison. For example, 10 less than 100. What is the answer here? What will be the answer? If I check 10 is less than 100, it is true, right? It is going to give you 1. Fine. I'm going to use OR operator here. This is for OR operator, and I'm going to write another condition here. This is the right side, the y value. So I'm going to check 20 less than 22. Now what will be the result? What this gives? This gives 1. Okay. This gives 1. So if you use OR operator, both are 1. The answer will be 1 in the result. Okay. 1 in the output. Let me make a false scenario here. I am going to type 20 is greater than 22. Okay, I am going to change that as 20 greater than 22. So what happens? This becomes true. This becomes false. What will happen in an OR operator? What will be the result? It will be once again 1, and the reason is it is OR operator. Let me change this into AND operator here. Okay, now I am using AND operator. What will happen? 1 is true, the next case is false, so obviously it is going to tell. Let me save it and run this, clear this off, and let us run it now. You will be getting 0 in the result. Okay, what do we have? Okay, we need to enclose this inside parenthesis. Let us compare and run it. The answer is 0. Okay, make sure you are adding respective parenthesis, so that just this is not considered, it is considered the entire thing. Okay, so let me make this as true as well. So what happens? 1 because now both are same. I'll make this as false now. It will be false now since you are not going with less than or equal to. Okay, the answer will be 0. This is AND operator and OR operator. Finally, I'll use a NOT operator here, that is single exclamatory mark, and then I'll go with 1 less than 100. What will be the result now, guys? Post down true or false. Instead of 0 and 1, please post down true or false in the result. What will be the answer now? I am using a NOT operator. Actually, when you go with 1 less than 100, the answer is true. Okay, it will be true, and NOT operator will turn it into false. Okay. First, let me run this. That is 1. NOT operator, 0 in the result. Okay. False in the output. So that is logical operators. Clear? Okay. So someone has asked for multiple things, right? Let us go into compare this 3 scenarios. Okay. Now you know both of these things are true. Now I am making both as true. So if I run this, it is AND operator, both are true. I am going to add a third situation here. I will use another AND operator. I am going to write 4 is less than 40. Okay. Now see here, you can add multiple things like this, not only 3. You can go for 4 or 5 thing comparison. You can compare, and the property of AND operator is if any one is false, it is going to return false. Otherwise, it is going to return. If everything are true, it will return true. Here everything is true, so if I run this, it will be 1 in the result. I'll make just one thing as false. Okay. Now this is only false. Remaining things are true. But even if you run this, okay, so if you run this, you will be getting 0, and the reason is it is AND operator, and 1 is actually became false. Okay. Clear? And you can also do something like this. I'll add another parenthesis here, don't get confused. So I'm going to add a OR operator between these two guys, and they are enclosed inside a bracket. So first this will be executed. Since it is a OR operator, this is true, this is false. Since it's a OR operator, this will give you a result of 1, which is true. This is also true, so the whole output will be true or 1 in the output. Okay, understood how it works? First this will get executed, where in this OR operator, clear about logical operators. And in the meantime, so if you want to convert this masterclass into 1-month certified internship on C++, you can join as an internship user, and you will be getting lot of benefits from this internship. 30 days of live sessions, 90 days of access to those records, source codes and projects, hackathon, and we have our first hackathon this Saturday, and the first batch ends by tomorrow. So those people belong to batch 1 will be availing that hackathon. So please, if you are planning to get this, you can do it before tomorrow. So you will be getting 5 additional DSA topics, 5 days of additional contents, downloadable PPTs, internship confirmation letter, and then internship certification when you complete the internship. So the discounted fee for this is $899, and the registration link is posted and pinned in chat box. You can join as an internship user and get benefited. And these are all the additional DSA topics focused on interviews for the internship users. And the first hackathon will be happening this Saturday. So the batch 1 ends tomorrow. You can get benefited on this internship with the link which is posted in chat box. So continuing with the next one. So that is logical operators. I hope you guys understood that. Abhiram Sistla, you want to compare 10 is greater than 74 equal to 1. What do we want to do? 10 is greater than 74. If you check it, you will be getting false because it is false. You can't do something like equal to 1 here. So let us try to do it. You will be getting error because it is not allowed. You can't do something like this. Okay. How can you implement that as 1? You can either do this, which in this case you are trying to compare, it will be false once again because this is going to give you 0. 0 is not equal to 1. Okay. So if you try to compare it with 0, here the output will be 1, and the reason is this comparison is going to give you 0 and you are actually checking 0 is double equal to 0, which means 0 is equal to 0, which means they both are true, so the result is 1. It is very simple, don't get confused. Okay, so there are a few more things to confuse a lot. Okay, so these are basics on C++. So we are going to start our topics on bitwise operators and we'll be completing our session with that. But before jumping into bitwise operators, we need to understand what all different types of number systems available. Can we start? I'm planning to use it in whiteboard. I'm planning to teach it here. Okay, can we start? Post down, post emojis in chat box. Okay, let me pick a pen and I hope we can start our session on this, right? Yes, can we? So what all different type of number systems do you know, guys? Number systems, any idea about number systems? Waiting for your response. Okay, so when we talk about number systems, generally in programming language or in general, you can think about it like in general. Okay, yeah, binary, then octa, decimal and all. How you know this? So starting with the number system. Okay, number system. So you have the first type, which is actually decimal. Okay, so first is decimal. So what does decimal means? As the name itself suggesting, it is having a word which is called as deci. So when you decrypt this deci, it actually denotes the word 10. Okay, so you would have seen in examples like it could be like decade, okay, deca and all. Actually they denote the value 10. Okay, which means this decimal number is actually belongs to the base 10. Okay, so it is belong to the base 10 representation, which has unique values like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So if you totally count all these things, you will be getting 10 values. This is the base 10. Okay, and any number, for example, if you consider 500 or 436 or it could be 1112 or any number is actually a combination of this base 10. Okay, so these are decimal numbers. And if you want to write, for example, let us try to write this example for 512. Okay, let us try to write for 512 can be written as in the base, okay, 10. You can write it as 5 into 10 to the power 2 plus 1 into 10 to the power 1 plus 2 into 10 to the power 0. So if you write like this, you can write like this in base 10, which means 5 into 100 will be 500 plus 10 plus 2. This is going to result you 512. So this is decimal number system. Why we are seeing this is we want to also understand the bitwise operators. So before that we need to understand these things so that we can also look into the conversion as well, which is used in interviews and all. So the next type we are going to see is binary. Okay, which you would have seen in programming languages. Binary, bi, which is actually means 2. Okay, this is to the base 2, and here we have two performers. Okay, 0 and 1, these guys are base 2. So for example, okay, if you have a number like this, for example 1010 to the base 2, you can write it as 1 into 2 to the power 3 plus 0 into 2 to the power 2 plus 1 into 2 to the power 1 plus 0 into 2 to the power 0. So if you calculate this, you will be getting the answer. So this is binary number. So you will be representing binary as 101 or 100010. So you can convert. For example, you can convert any number from binary to decimal and decimal to binary. We will be seeing that in this session later on now. Okay, so scrolling below to the next one, you also have a third type. We are not going to discuss this mostly, but I'll tell. You can also represent numbers in octal, which means oct means 8. Okay, so when you go for octal, you have the base 8. okay, which has numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So these are all the players inside of it, and you can represent the numbers with the help of these things. And finally you have hexadecimal. Okay, so these are some common representations. Hexadecimal values. Hexa means 6. Okay, decimal means 10. So the total players here are 16. It is to the base 16. What all these 16? Okay, so if you talk about 16 things, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay, along with this is 10. And then you have the remaining 6, which is from A, B, C, D, E, F. So if you combine all these things, these are all the players for your hexadecimal. So your hexadecimal values will be something like this. Example, it will be like 4, A, 5, C to the base 16 actually. So A responds to 11, B responds to 12, C for 13, 14, 15 and 16. So this is their representation. Now we will see how to convert any number. Okay, from first we'll see about binary to decimal. Okay, so if you have a binary number, for example, I have a binary number which is 1011. Okay, ignore my handwriting guys. 1011 to the base 2. So I'm going to convert this to decimal. So this conversion is important. So what you can do is you can write it in the power of 2. For example, take the 1 and write it as 1 into 2 to the power 3 plus 0 into 2 to the power 2 plus 1 into 2 to the power 1 plus 1 into 2 to the power 0. So this will actually give you 8 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1. So this entire thing is going to sum up to 11. So if you want to 11 is actually a decimal number, you can write it in binary. It will be 1011. Okay, so I hope if you open calculator, okay, so you have this option. You can click this and search for scientific, and you can write any number and you can convert. For example, like scientific, you have programmer calculator as well. Okay, so if you write for example 11, so the binary format is 1011. Can you see this? 1011 is nothing but 11 in decimal. In binary it is 1011, and you have other versions as well. Okay, and this is simple. Binary to decimal is easy. Decimal to binary needs some complex things. Okay, it's not very complex. Let us see the basics of it. Is even asked in interviews and all, so please note this down. Decimal to binary. Is it clear guys? Till now is it clear? I was writing and I wasn't seeing the chat box and all. I hope the attendance group has been gone. Okay, fine. So now those who are here for learning, you can post down. Is it clear till now regarding binary, decimal and the conversion from binary to decimal? If it's clear, I can talk about the conversion from decimal to binary. Clear? Can I get some response? We'll be completing the session in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't worry. Yes? We'll talk about decimal to binary now. Okay. For example, if you have a decimal number, let me pick it a number. For example, let us go with 14. Okay, so which is actually to the base 10, and I want to convert it into a binary. So what you have to do is you have to take the number like this. Okay, and try to divide it with 2. Okay, so if you try to divide it with 2, what is your remainder? You have to write your remainder here. This is a simple way of doing it. Okay, divide all the things by 2, divide it by 2. Write the remainder here. If you try to divide 14, okay, and write your quotient below. Okay, so if you try to divide by 2, what will happen? The remainder will be 0 here. What is remainder? So if you try to divide 14 by 2, this is quotient. The answer you get below is remainder. Okay, so don't get confused. So 14, if you try to divide by 2, it will be 0 remainder, and the quotient is 7. Write it here. Okay, and try to divide 7 by 2 now. What will be the value? Here it will be, you can't completely do it. You will be getting a remainder of 1, and your quotient will be actually 3. Okay, and do it for this also. Divide it by 2. So your remainder will be 1 and the quotient will be 1. And then try to do it by 2. Okay, so here you will be getting 1, and this thing will actually become 0. So now you have these reminders, right? What you can do is you can write, for example, write it in the reverse order. That will be your binary value for 14. So it is going to be 1110. Okay, 1110 is the value for the value 14 in binary. Okay, let us try to do this in that calculator. I hope it is correct. This is correct, guys. 1110. Okay, 14 1110. Got it? Understood, guys? Understood this conversion decimal to binary? Clear? This is about number systems. Why we are talking about this in binary format? You have to understood this numbers, because the reason is we are going to discuss about bitwise operators, which is performing in binary level. Okay, so let us complete our session with bitwise operators. So let us start with bitwise operators. So like our comparison and logical operator, we have a bitwise operator which is going to perform and, or, not and all, but it will be doing, okay, it will be doing at the bitwise level, because so the operators that operate on data at the bit level are known as bitwise operator, and it is known as bit level programming when we perform bitwise operations, and it consists only zeros and ones, and 0 means false, 1 means true. It is used to speed up calculations mostly in numerical computations. For example, the bitwise operators, you have bitwise AND operator, which is single ampersand, bitwise OR operator, single symbol, then XOR operator, okay, then you have NOT operator, which is tilde symbol, okay, bitwise NOT. You have left shift and you have right shift operator. Okay, this is left shift, this is right shift. So let us understand one by one what is bitwise AND will do. Okay, we know AND operator, it is going to perform the same. If you give ones and zeros, what it will do? If it is true, if both are true, it will be true, otherwise it will be zero. That is the idea, right? So in same way, for example, let me do this scenario. So I have two numbers. For example, if you go with 12 and 25, what will be the result? See here, I'll show it in the here. I'm going to use 12 single ampersand 25. Okay, what I am doing, I'm not doing double ampersand, which is going to compare true or false. This is bit level operation. So if I run this, let us see what is the output. The output I am getting is 8. Okay, why am I getting 8 here? And the reason is it is going to perform this in bit level. So if you write 12, you know how to compare it or convert it, right? If you write 12 in binary to the base 2, you know the conversion, apply that formula, you will be getting that. So it is 0001100 in binary, and 25 is 0001101. So these two are taken and AND operator is performed one by one. See here, 0 and 0, any one is true means AND operator, no use, 0 only. If both are 1, then only 1. Okay, so 000. Okay, so if you compare manually, only in one place where you have 1 and 1, that will be 1, remaining things will be 0, because it is AND operator. So this is actually the answer. So if you try to convert this number into, you are trying to write it in decimal, if you convert this, you will be getting 8. Okay, so if you try to do it for 8, you will be getting 1000 calculator. Okay, so 8 is actually 1000. The remaining zeros anyway they cut off, and that is actually the result. So it is converted in decimal as 8, and that's why we got 8 in the result. Understood? Clear, guys? Clear? Like that you can go for OR operator, bitwise OR, which is going to perform bitwise OR operation, and that will give you different number 29. Okay, so you have to convert this into binary and then perform the operation in bit level and then convert it back into decimal. You can understand, get the result. Okay, and this is for OR operator as well. But if you go for left shift, what is this left shift is going to do and what is this right shift is going to do, let us understand. Okay, so if you use left shift, for example, I am having x equal to 7. Okay, so it is a bitwise left shift, which means if you write it in binary, it is going to 111. So let us see what is the value of 7. I am always closing this calculator. 7. Okay, so it is 0111. So this thing, what happens is after this, okay, let me close this off. It is 7, the value is 7. This bit level operator, you can add symbols like this, less than 1, which means, okay, it is going to shift 1 0 by the end. Okay, if you perform 3, then it will add 3 zeros. So the number changes here from 0 1 1 1, it is 1 1 0. So if you try to do it for 14, or if you convert it back, okay, I'll add clear, and then 14 is actually 1 1 0. So if you have 1 1 0, then it is going to convert. So this is the way you can perform bitwise left shift, or if you do right shift, it is going to remove 1. So that is the opposite of it. And mostly at the basic level you won't be performing this anyway. So I'll go with integer x equal to 7, okay, and x left shift of 1 will give you 14 in the result. Okay, so if you go with like 3, then you will be getting some huge numbers. 56 is the answer for that. Okay, and that's how we can do with bitwise operators. Okay, so if you go with 4, actually you will get that value, which is 1112, because they are actually storing it and then doing it x equal to, so that changes, so which means you are shifting it 4 times. So that is bitwise operators, and that is about operators and operations in C++. So in the next session we will be seeing with few more interesting topics in the next session. So we will see you on the next session, which is on day 5. We will continue the session. Thank you for watching. I hope it is clear. And yeah, so if you want, you can convert this masterclass into a certified 1-month certified internship on C++. Okay, and you can get all these benefits: 30 days of live sessions, 90 days of access, source codes and projects, downloadables, PPTs, 4 hackathon with coding interview sessions, 5 additional DSA topics, 1 month together, downloadable PPTs, information, internship confirmation letter, and then internship certification when you complete the internship. And thank you for your comments, guys. Thank you for your responses, and thank you for the interactive session as well. And you can avail this internship at a discounted fee at 899. The registration link is available in description and chat box. So if you want personalized support for doubt clarifications, interactions, and interview coding questions, you can join, and the first Zoom session is going to happen this weekend on Saturday. So if you are planning to buy tomorrow, okay, is the last day for the first batch to end. So you can join in that and get benefited. And we will also provide additional DSA topics. These are the additionals with certificate from our side on C++. Okay. Thank you all.